Welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to show you how I increased my catch rate by using this one bait company. So stay tuned for the rest of the video. I'm going to go through all the selections of hook baits that they have, and I'm also going to show you and share with you a story that personally happened to me when I was fishing using this bait when no one else was catching, and I'll show you some of the fish that I caught as well. So stay tuned and watch the video all the way through. So before I jump into it, I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory. I was with a bait company for a number of months and I wasn't having any success. On my local lake, a few of my friends, they were fishing with a bait company that was well known in the northwest, so I decided to use some of theirs, and I ended up buying a couple of pots of hook baits, and the results from there were absolutely phenomenal. The first fish I caught when I was using this new bait was literally the day after I'd had probably a run of blanks for about 7 weeks. I just wasn't catching anything using the bait I was currently using. I switched up to this company, used one of their hook baits and caught a PB mirror, and it was one of the named fish out of our local lake as well, so I was mega happy with that. I then went on later to buy a lot more hook baits because I like having a choice, and I'll explain why later on in the video. Mega happy with the whole bait selection. We'll go into the baits in more detail shortly, but ultimately following that, all of my sessions after that, I was catching fish after fish after fish, and I believe strongly in this bait and I have so much confidence on it, and that is one of the key things that us as anglers we need to have, and that is confidence. Even if you do end up blanking, I think it's important to actually have those rods in and have the confidence that if a fish stumbles across that bait, it's going to take it. So you probably know by the title of this video that the bait company that I'm currently with at the moment is RG Baits. You can visit their website, rgbaits.co.uk, and have a look at all of their selection of hook baits, and they also do a good range of clothing as well. When I go through my hook bait selection, you guys probably don't have as many as me. I don't know, I've been told that I'm quite obsessive with how many hook baits I have. Some people take one or two, some people take more, but the reason that I like having a selection of hook baits is for a reason that I'll explain a little bit later on in the video, about a story about when I went fishing on a reservoir in Barnsley. That day was absolutely unbelievable, but I'll explain more about that once we've gone through the bait selection. So we'll get into the bait selection. I'll run you through what I carry in my tackle bag, and the successes I've had on it. So the first bait I'm going to get into then is the Arctic Crab enhanced hookers. So these are bottom baits, so used in conjunction with the slip D rig that I like to fish on the bottom. So these are currently glugged in one of the Arctic Crab bait soaks at the moment, and they absolutely stink. I've had a lot of success on these, especially when I've been fishing in the margins and when I've been throwing in a couple of solid bags as well. These go really well, and also RG Baits do the same flavours in the small pellets as well. So I think they do a 3mm pellet and a slightly bigger one as well. I think it's 6. So in a solid bag, some of the stick mix as well, to do a stick mix, which is really good. These baits are absolutely phenomenal, and I've had a lot of success on these. The next bait the next hook bait I'm gonna touch on is the RG Baits Decade Specials 365 Popups. These were backed by popular demand. The smell of these I can only describe as when you used to go into the shops and you get the pick and mix stands. I can only describe it as that. They're absolutely phenomenally sweet. So if you find that you're on a lake where the fish like the sweeter baits, these would definitely be one to go for. The next hook bait is another sweety flavoured kind of bait. However, they're in bright red, pink. So obviously colours, I believe, play a massive part in how well you fish and how many fish you land. So these are mega bright and mega pungent as well. Smell really good, so highly recommend a pot of those as well. The next hook bait that I've gone for, and my local lake that the fish seem to like a nice yellow colour, will be the 7 to 11 by RG Baits. Now these are a bright yellow. This is what I had my PB mirror on, and obviously I was mega chuffed because the minute I flick this out, it's gone. So this gives me a lot of confidence, and this is one of my favourite hook baits that RG Baits do, for the simple reason my lake, the fish in there enjoy yellow. So yeah, massively recommend that one. And the next one is my recently my absolute favourite, and it is the smoke and syrup. These are completely orange, and this is the bait that I used on the reservoir in Barnsley. I met up with a friend. I got there about probably 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so it was later on. He'd been there all morning, he'd not had anything. He is a match angler, so he likes his method feeder fishing. Nobody else had caught on this reservoir, so I turned up. I flicked a couple of raspberry ripples out, which are the pink ones we were talking about. I had nothing for probably an hour, so I decided, because I get itchy feet, I can't, if I'm not catching, I start to change things. So I ended up flicking out, I reeled one of the rods in and flicked out a smoke and syrup, one of the orange ones you've just seen, and within 5 minutes I'd had a fish on the bank, and yeah, it was absolutely phenomenal. I couldn't believe it. So I flicked that one back out, reeled the other rod in, flicked that back on, exactly the same spot, and the first rod had gone out before the second rod's lead had hit the deck, and I was away again. I couldn't believe it. The rods were going. As soon as I was putting the bait out, it was going. I could see other people on the other bank watching me, and yeah, I ended up landing something like 5 or 6 fish that day, and I was only there for 2 hours, 2-3 hours, something like that. So literally all in that last hour, the rods were just going, and I wish I'd got there earlier. And in the end, my friend who likes the method feeder, he's ended up buying some of the smoke and syrup, the 12 mils, because they do them in different sizes. So yeah, that's my success story on that bait. It completely just changed the game for me. So obviously all the baits I've shown you then, they're all available in 15 mil, so I predominantly buy the 15 mil, but then I also buy them in 12 mils as well, the 12 mil pop-ups, because sometimes I like just topping off my Arctic crab bottom baits with a bit of colour, especially the yellow as well, because it can sort of mimic sweet corn, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's a massive benefit for me. So obviously I carry 15 mils and 12 mils, I've got 8 pots in total, and it all fits snug in the side of my tackle bag, so they're all there, good to go. The other cool thing that RG Baits has is bait sprays, so it has a matching bait sprays. These bait sprays, I tend to use them by every time I go fishing. I spray the complete hook pot about 5 or 6 times, just to leave them and let them soak in. Obviously they come in all the different flavours. I also soak my bait as well, give it a quick spray before I chuck it out. I also soak the hook length as well, just for that added attraction. But yeah, they absolutely they smell fantastic. I can't recommend them enough. If you liked this video, then please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon as well. It's really helped the channel. I'm trying to get a bit more traction on it and grow it. If you hit the bell icon as well, you won't miss another video. And obviously it's all well and good having a very attractive bait to the fish, however that needs to be matched with a pinpoint sharp hook, because there's no point having a good bait on a blunt hook, because you're never going to catch the fish. So it might be worth checking out my other video, which is the hook sharpening guide, and it's on my channel, so go and check it out. If I can remember how to do it, there'll also be a little button somewhere along here that might take you to it. If it's not there, it's because I don't know how to do it. So I'm still learning at YouTube, but yeah, give us a sub, give us hit the bell icon so you don't miss another video. It'll be much appreciated, and I'll see you in the next video.